I bet you've felt it before. That spine-tingling sensation when the wind brushes past, whispering in a language you can't quite place. Perhaps on a quiet night, you've heard the rustle of leaves, only to realize there were no trees around. What if I told you some winds carry more than just whispers of nature? Some winds might carry the voices of the other side. Welcome to tonight's chilling documentary from the Nightside Archive. This is the shadow whispers of the East Wind. In the arid, lonely plains of Mongolia, there's a strange phenomenon that's been passed down through generations. Locals call it the shadow wind. It isn't just a breeze or even a howling gust. It's a phenomenon shrouded in chilling tales of ghostly whispers, lost souls, and eerie encounters. The east wind across these plains isn't just the movement of air. It's thought to be the unseen bridge between our world and something much darker. The stories begin with farmers, shepherds, and wanderers who've spent their lives under the vast Mongolian skies. One tale that sends shivers down the spine is that of Bayon, a shepherd from the late 19th century. He was a well-known figure among the nomads who traversed the land with their herds. The wind has voices, Bayon would often say. He claimed it spoke to him, at times warning him of storms, at others lulling him into uneasy dreams. One fateful night, Bayon, along with his flock, was camping near the ruins of a forgotten outpost, the remnants of a long-abandoned military post, half covered by sand. That night, the wind picked up, carrying with it a low, mournful hum. Bayon reported hearing whispers, vividly recalling a woman's voice calling his name. The hauntingly distinct words, "Bayon, return me." He searched the ruins but found nothing out of the ordinary, no source, no signs, just chilling, empty silence. Over following years, his tales grew darker. He began waking to find footsteps imprinted in the sand around his tent. Though he was utterly alone, his flock would often scatter in fear, their eyes searching for something unseen in the darkness. Eventually, Bayon vanished into thin air during an east wind storm, leaving only his staff behind. What truly happened to him remains a mystery to this day. Locals believe that the wind claimed him, whispering him into another realm. This isn't a lone tale. The shadow wind has left its mark on countless lives. There's the account of a family who camped near Ulaanbaatar during an eastward storm. Fukai, the youngest child, was entranced by the sound of a melodic hum carried by the wind. His parents described it as hauntingly beautiful, but became anxious when Fukai wandered away toward the hills, as if in a trance. The family searched for hours, but despite finding his belongings neatly folded by a solitary rock, Fukai was never seen again. Days later, when the winds calmed, they claimed to hear his faint laughter carried back to them. So what is it about these winds? Scientists who've studied regional wind patterns asserted that gusts moving at high velocities can trigger auditory anomalies known as aeolian tones. This creates a deceptive effect where one might imagine hearing voices or melodies. However, these logical explanations crumble in the face of chilling eyewitness reports. A geological researcher named Dr. Elena Markova went to study wind tunnels in the Gobi Desert. Rational in every sense, she dismissed the whispers as mere superstition. That is, until she and her guide camped out during an evening storm. Dr. Markova recorded her experience in a hastily written journal entry. The cries, my own name. No wind could replicate such specificity, such grief. It called for me, begged me to come. I couldn't sleep that night. I felt something, someone, pressing against the edges of the tent. But where does this alleged connection to the supernatural stem from? Mongolian folklore has deep ties to the spiritual realm. Shamans and elders speak of ki, pronounced he, which means wind or breath, but also signifies spirit. Like the invisible forces that guide energy, ki in east wind storms is thought to carry lost spirits who wander, who haven't found peace. Legends say the east wind holds the voices of warriors slain unjustly during the Mongol Empire's expansion, their cries echoing for closure. These spirits supposedly ride the wind, seeking restitution. In some modern retellings, they bring warnings, omens of danger. However, others suggest darker desires. They seek companions to join them in their eternal unrest. A more recent encounter involved hikers in Terv province, central Mongolia. In 1997, a group of college students on a trail decided to stay within a gorge when sudden winds descended. The group described hearing what they thought was chanting in an unknown tongue. One camper, a young woman named Zaya, claimed to see shadowy figures moving at the edges of their campfire's glow. The wind roared furiously. By morning, Zaya was found frozen in a focus-like trance, her eyes wide open, unresponsive, yet unharmed. It took months for her to recover fully, but she vividly described whispers urging her to, and I quote, "walk beyond the veil." Over time, the wind cuts the land, reshapes it, and at times carries with it the heavy weight of untold tragedies locked away. Environmental studies reveal small deposits of human remains often surfacing randomly after these strong winds. They validate eerie connections to ancient burial grounds and sacred rituals. Could fragments of lives past, unfulfilled or disturbed, truly find their way to us through the currents of air? Viewing all this through the lens of the spiritual might send chills creeping down one's spine. The east wind, carrying with it inexplicable whispers, might just hold secrets beyond comprehension. Tales of terror delivered by nature itself show that even science cannot explain everything around us. What would you do if you were camped somewhere desolate? The wind carried your name, and shadows began to dance at the dark periphery of your vision. Would you stay or run? Many have tried to answer the mystery of the shadow wind, but its truth remains elusive. Some say those who listen too closely may be forever claimed by its spectral grasp. Others believe it's a matter of facing shadows of the past, that losing oneself within the wind's murmur is only yielding to fragments of misunderstood history. Tonight, let the wind's whispers remind us there's always something unseen amongst us. The east wind still rises, its melody unchanged for centuries, bearing untold whispers, waiting for those who dare to listen. This has been the Nightside Archive. Pleasant dreams, if the whispers let you sleep at all.